All right, so welcome to the video walkthrough for the Private Label Podcast. This week we're talking about my most successful tips and tricks for email follow-up. Email follow-up is so important. It's really a low-hanging fruit for all of us that sell private label products. And yet I see so many people that just don't do it right or don't do it as good as they should. So I want to encourage you to go and listen to the full episode of this podcast at privatelabelpodcast.com or on iTunes or Stitcher. I go into a lot more detail in the full podcast about the ways that I use email follow-up and some of the specific strategies. But I wanted to share a few templates with you that I use, and feel free to pause these and kind of read them at your leisure. But I want to point out a few tips here in this video walkthrough. The first is personalize the email if you can. Most of the tools that you guys are using as far as email follow-up give you the ability to use tags like this, and that software will then plug in the buyer's name. I always like just the first name as opposed to the first and last name or the last name. It's much less formal. The other thing that you want to do is write this email like you're talking to a friend, as opposed to having a lot of formality in these emails. Come up with unique ways of signing your emails. If it's going to be you as the founder, as this one is here. In fact, all of the ones I'm going to show you are from me as the founder of my company. You can also come up with an alias if you're uncomfortable with putting your real name there, or if you're still working a corporate job and you don't want to have your full name on these emails. Another tip is to ask people to reply, as opposed to using a contact form, which feels very informal and impersonal. Just ask them to reply to the email. That's going to come right back to you or to your customer service person that can then address them with their issue. Come up with unique titles or subject lines for your message. This one says, it's talking about our chicken jerky dog treats, for example, and the subject line here is, does your dog love the chicken jerky? Okay. And so this email asks for feedback, but it also asks them, if their dog loves the jerky. Again, please hit reply to this message and let me know if there's a problem, etc., etc. One more tip. This is probably the email template that gets the biggest response from us, and it is one that is designed to look like me as the owner, or I as the owner, to use proper grammar, just stumbled into the office one morning and decided to start emailing customers. So it's very informal. It just says, hi again, and then it puts their first name in. I wanted to check in with you and just ask frankly how the training with your pet is going. Have you been successful with curtailing the chewing and scratching from your dog or cat? If so, I'm very happy to hear that. If not, I want to help. Some pets have a tougher time changing their behavior than others. If you're struggling, please hit reply and let me know a bit about your situation. So that type of an approach where people feel like you're really talking to them and interested in their opinions and their experience is going to give you the best results. All right, I hope you enjoyed this. Make sure to leave comments below and let me know what works for you in terms of email follow-up. And I'll be right back here next week with another Listen and Learn episode and video walkthrough. Have a great week.